guys, it's Chris, aka Death Note Chris, or D&K if you know me from Instagram, and I'm the author of Black Ghosts. Ooh. But before we get into that, let me tell you a little bit about myself. So, I'm a recent college graduate, received my BA in none other than English, and that pretty much says it all. I love writing, love reading, love drawing, pretty much anything artsy I'm a nerd for, to be quite honest. But at heart, I'm a writer, and that's all I've ever wanted to do since I was a little kid, and I guess that's where my story starts. So in elementary school, our school had us write our own books, and they said, here's a pencil, here's a paper, and we'll get it published for you. And they literally published our books, and we got to keep them, and I still have the hardcover to this day. And it was so cool. It was the best experience ever, and I still remember it. But one thing I do want to note is that when I drew or wrote my book, I drew myself in it. So it was a time travel book, children's book. I don't even know what I was thinking, but it was so cute, and I drew myself, and I shaded my skin color in, I shaded it brown, and I drew my parents and all that stuff. But it's crazy to think about that, and then think about how things have changed over the years. Because when I was growing up and reading books, I was a very vivacious reader. I never read books that featured characters that look like me, unfortunately. So, and you know, as a kid, that starts to like mess with your head, and so that ties into like self-worth. Like, why aren't I in these books? Why is it like white default syndrome when I'm reading? The name could just be Maggie, and I automatically know it's a white character. Like, why is it like that? And so that started to affect me, and I didn't even know it because I'm a kid. And so growing up, it was like, I was writing stories, of course, but they were with white characters. I stopped writing myself in books. And it's crazy for me to say it right now because of how far I've come in the journey, but I took myself out of my stories. I stopped writing about brown-skinned girls and black boys, and I started writing white characters, pale skin, pale as a ghost, you know? And it really truly is unfortunate to think that I, as a black girl, was impacted by the media and impacted by the books that I read, and that altered my thinking. And in turn, as a writer, as an author, I took away that possible representation for little brown girls and little black boys. Like, I'm black, you know? That's just crazy to me. And so throughout my journey, it wasn't until college that I finally like realized I'm a writer. I'm going to start writing these black books, these diverse books that I so desperately want in the world and so desperately want to read more of, you know? And so I wrote stories with Hispanic characters and Asian characters and black characters, etc. And those stories fill me with such a joy. And it's not that they're issue books or race books, they're just people of color being, and that's something you don't see too often. And so with Black Ghosts, this is my third book, and I really wanted to highlight my skin color and all skin tones of melanin. I wanted to highlight that, and I think I did that perfectly with all the characters. Their skin colors range from chocolate to like caramel, so that's pretty cool. But my main point is that we really need diverse books, and please, please, please do not let this message get swept under the rug. Black Ghosts also talks about dark, touchy subjects that the black community doesn't really talk about, like depression, suicide, mental health in general, gun violence. Like, these are things that we need to talk about, and the conversation shouldn't be closed. Free thinking. Just because you grew up a certain way with your parents' ideology and beliefs doesn't mean that they're your beliefs, you know? You have your own freedom of thinking, you're your own person. You don't have to be Baptist because you were raised that way. Black Ghost really explores that. It's self-exploration, and it's removing this veil over humanity's eyes. Let's see who you really are, and let's delve into that, because as black people, we don't often get to do that. So please, please pledge. Anything counts. $5, become an ally, and anything all the way up to $150. It truly would mean a lot, and we need more diverse books, and you can help make that happen. Okay? Stay tuned for the trailer of Black Ghosts.